Welcome to the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through Ayanna. When can you listen to the Sister Speak Show? At 7 p.m. Central. Tune in on the go or at your residence show. Spreaker, YouTube, Alexa, or SoundCloud. Interviewing special guests that have been blessed and will bless us. Through spoken word and awareness, knowledge is wealth. If you gain it, share this. In the streets, in the burbs, anywhere that we can be heard. It's about that time to elevate your mind. Feel the beat, Sister Speak. Come and eat a spiritual treat. It's about that time to stimulate your mind. Feel the beat, Sister Speak. Come and eat a spiritual treat. Welcome, 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 my brothers and my sisters, to the premiere, the live premiere of The Search Effort. I am Ayanna, the host, creator, and producer of the Sister Speak Show. Kingdom Child Recordings is executive producer of the Sister Speak Show. I am so glad that you all took the time to tune in this evening to the Sister Speak Show. Why? Because this particular segment is groundbreaking for the Sister Speak Show. But first, I want to welcome all of my first-time listeners to the Sister Speak Show. And welcome back, and much love to everyone. And especially much love to all of my regular listeners. You know, I hope you've been having a wonderful day. So let me explain just a little bit about what the Sister Speak Show is. Now, we have a 6-segment podcast. This goes from Sunday to Sunday. We have the platform, coming to the stage. We have the search effort, the culture climate, the laugh line, the tour, and the platform, which I said already. Now, what this does for you is we bring special guest interviews, live performances, in-studio interviews, as well as live on-location reports. The special guests who will be on this particular show, in any particular show on the Sister Speak Show, they are absolutely dynamic. And not only that, they are impacting the communities with their passions. See, the Sister Speak Show is a talk show that will keep your mind, your soul informed, energized, and encouraged. We are a cultural renaissance platform that influences a climate that is conducive to who you are and who you should be. No reckless entertainment, just responsible listening nourishment. We don't go dumb, we go wisdom. Brothers and sisters, you know, some people are like, but what is the search effort? You know, the search effort can be explained to you in this manner. The search effort, local, national, international attention to those who have gone missing in our communities, cold cases in our communities, stories from survivors, special guest interviews. We want you to be on the Sister Speak Show. Are you a survivor of a stalking, a kidnapping? Do you have a missing loved one? Contact the Sister Speak Show at SGTPGW or at sistergoodthing.com. Airing January 2018, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Now that just wraps it up in I can't say nutshell because I'm allergic to peanuts, but that wraps it up in a big old ball of cotton candy. I'm definitely not allergic to that. That's what this particular segment is about. It is about bringing local, national, and international, attention to those who have gone missing in our communities, cold cases in our communities. It is crucial, brothers and sisters, that we, bring attention to this, because if you leave it to national media, and I'm talking about non-urban national media. You're not going to know, but there are several organizations that have created a platform to bring awareness to the fact that our brothers and sisters have gone missing, to bring awareness to cold cases in our communities, and we also have brothers and sisters who work in those fields, who see it firsthand, who can give you a detailed report about all of the ins and outs of cold cases and kidnappings and, domestic violence charges and things of that nature, and those who have been kidnapped. It's very real. And I don't make light of this situation in any way, shape, or form. And I know you don't either, because even though you may not have been through that, somebody who has, or maybe you have been through that, and that's why we would love for you to be on this podcast, so you can share with everybody how you are a survivor. It's nothing more frightening, stressful, and downright, irritating to be put in a situation where your life is on the line because somebody has violated and trespassed and decided to bring harm upon you or even a loved one. And sometimes it may not hit you until it hits home. But for others who, have a gift or a charge, if you will, to pursue and help pursue the search effort in bringing or solving these cases, or bringing a loved one home, then that's their mission. So the search effort on the Sister Speak show is just joining the quest. I am not, the first to do it, but I am of many who have just been encouraged to and motivated to join, the effort, because our brothers and sisters are important, aren't they? It's nothing like having to figure out why someone who has such a pattern has gone missing. Why someone who is supposed to be home at 3:00, it's now 9 p.m. and you haven't heard from them all day. It's nothing worse than having to go to the police station and they say that you have to wait 24 to 48 hours before you can file a missing persons report. And then there's nothing worse than it not getting any type of local news attention. But then you see another nation, receiving the attention. And you just wonder why. And then you hear about the Amber Alert. And then you wonder why, you may wonder why is there an alert for our people? And there is. And we'll learn more about that this evening. But that's what the search effort is about. I want to interview, and I will interview, homicide detectives, coroners, private investigators, people who, court clerks, who have to file the paperwork, It must be something having to see all of these reports coming in. I don't know what it's like to have a child go missing, but there are brothers and sisters whose children, no matter what age they are, have gone missing, have been kidnapped. They have disappeared. And, you see For My Man and Fatal Attraction on TV One, and you see all the shows on Dateline. They have a completely segmented show, and you see all of these shows, and it's real. Okay, it's real that if you're caught slipping sometimes, and I'm not saying everybody was caught slipping, but if you're caught slipping, that your life could be on the line. You could be abducted. And there was a time when you would get a piece of advertisement in the mail and it would have a "Have you seen me" photo. You walk into Walmart and you see on the wall the plethora of humans who have gone missing. And to put yourself in their shoes, what would it be like to have somebody completely disrupt your everyday life Even if it's just with stalking, someone who won't leave you alone, who cannot get enough of you, who has become obsessed with you to where it is violently obsessed with you, to where they are unstable, chemically unstable, unbalanced, no equilibrium in sight. You know somebody like that. Maybe it's you. Maybe you had to move away. Maybe you had to file a restraining order on someone because they just would not stop. You know, I think about all the times that women and men walk into a police station saying, look, this human will not leave me alone. They're threatening me. They won't stop calling my phone, texting me, leaving me, erotic, disgusting messages. They keep showing up at my job. They don't get it. They won't leave me alone. They're everywhere I go. Look, that's stalking, and there are laws that have been put in place. But do you know how long it took for those laws to be put in place? Why? Because police officers, and I'm not trying to make light of those who are on active duty as a police officer, but I have to just be honest about the response that comes from most police officers when it comes to these reports. Not enough evidence. We have to catch them on something. We can't just go and tell. It's a free country, freedom of speech and all these things. And it's this next thing you know, the same officer has to show up at a house, and that human is now a homicide victim because of the lack of empathy, just very apathetic about the situation. So brothers and sisters, to see our people not mentioned at a grand international high scale media level, and not to have the amount of effort put into their finding them that is put into other nations, it's just disrespectful and disgusting. But guess what? God is able. And so therefore we have the search effort. And I thank you for listening so far, brothers and sisters, to the live premiere of the search effort. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Next on the Sister Speak Show, Tuesday, January 2nd, coming to the stage. Wednesday, January 3rd, the premiere of the search effort. Thursday, January 4th, the culture climate. Friday, January 5th, the laugh line. Saturday, January 6th, the tour with Ms. Stiletto. And Sunday, January 7th, the platform with Danielle Lee. The Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve.
Welcome back to the search effort. This is your host, Ayanna. I thank you for listening so far. So we are bringing attention, awareness to local, national, and international attention and awareness to those who have gone missing in our communities, brothers and sisters. And so, I can't leave you hanging. We have to really dive into how crucial this is, that our brothers and sisters are going missing, and we need to know where they are. And, to be the villain in this, to be the one who orchestrates, who plots, who plans to bring harm to someone else, to, just be really off. Now, I'm not making light of mental illness, but I like to call it demonic. You can't cure it if you don't call it what it is. If my knee hurts and I go to the doctor and I say my elbow hurts, my knee is going to stay hurting. And I'm alive. So we have to call it what it is. You're wicked. Okay? And, plotting to kidnap someone. A lot of our teenagers, our young sisters, and our young brothers, are kidnapped, and they are a part of what is called sex trafficking, where they are either taken nationally or internationally and exploited for fornication. Completely destroyed at the moment And the reason why I say at the moment, because God is able to heal us mentally, physically, spiritually. He is. Okay? It's just a fact. He's a wonderful counselor. He is a healer. And so, to be destroyed at the moment, because to lay down with someone is a precious, precious, precious moment. It's not to be taken lightly to lay down with another human, a man and a woman, okay? And to have what is supposed to be so beautiful completely destroyed by utter filth and disgust and wicked minds. I can only step back and squint my eyes at the reaping that will come. I don't want to be anywhere around it. If you are participating in any form of that, pimping, okay, anything of that where it takes our sisters, it takes our brothers, and it takes you, okay, whether you are a pimp or a madam, it takes you from being a righteous human and completely, utterly destroying the foundation of the being in existence. You have no right to snatch anybody's little girl, whether their daddy is in or out of their life, whether they're caught, quote unquote, slipping down the street because they're just searching for love. And here you come, Mr. Nasty or Mrs. Nasty, taking our sisters and our brothers off the street. Yes, brothers are out there too. There are young boys out there prostituting. And some of them are never found again. But we still have hope. Why? Because there are platforms such as this who are dedicated to at least get their picture out there, get their story out there. The last time they were seen out there, the clothing that they had on out there. See, it's real. Okay? So you will be able to locate them. So somebody can say, oh, I saw them. It's nothing worse than a mother and a father or a guardian having to exhaust all of their funds to find their loved one who has gone missing, or to have to bury a loved one who they have found not awake. To get the call, a lot of humans who have been affected directly by such situations as this, they say it's a bittersweet moment when the detective says, we have found such and such, Jane Doe, John Doe. And they say that because they had hope all the way to the end that just maybe, their loved one would be found awake, alive. But on the other end, the bitter part, the sweet part is rather the resolution in knowing that they were found. And, it is amazing the resiliency that I see with humans that are willing to share their stories about their trial. Having to look an abductor in the face. Have you ever watched videos where the family of the victim is in the courtroom along with the guilty defendant, and the father, mother, brother, sister, whomever decides to launch an all-out attack on the defendant? That is rage, grief, and pain. Okay? And we have got to do a better job individually of loving thy neighbor as thyself, being accountable for one another. I don't know how close this subject is to you this evening, but we're here for you on the Sister Speak show. I was perusing because I wanted to make sure I had something that was going to really just bring in the premiere of this show. There are some shows where you have to be completely bubbly alive, and I am alive now. I am alive. But there are some shows where you don't need any music in the background because it's that serious. So that's not to say that when I have music in the background, what I'm saying is not serious. But tonight, it's a different type of essence, a different type of ambiance. Okay? We're talking about a sensitive subject here. Okay? We're talking about holding out hope and faith that those who are lost will be found. We are here in support of our brothers and sisters who are in their 2nd or 15th year of not seeing a loved one who has gone missing. Okay, so this is very sensitive. So I wanted to be able to provide you with information that would, just really properly assess how crucial this is. And I know the one thing I know about the Sister Speak show listeners is that you all are very wise and you're intelligent. You wouldn't be listening to this show if you weren't. There's something that you caught at some point in time on this particular show, not this particular show, but the show as a whole that you like. And I bless you and I thank you for listening. And we want to keep it coming for you. So I was looking and I found a short film called Black and Missing in America. And I usually go to YouTube to provide the listening curriculum, if you will, or the listening support to back up what we're talking about. This video is courtesy of Bam Fior G. Now, that's BAMFIO. I know what it is. Excuse me. It is BAMFI.org. Black and Missing org. Apologize for that. So let's listen to this particular film. Hold tight. Okay. I want you to absorb what's going on. And then I want you to begin to be more sober and more vigilant. Because I believe that not all of those who have gone missing have perished. I just believe that in our everyday lives that sometimes we're just not paying attention. But we need to. We could have very well have walked past some of these missing brothers and sisters. Now, some people say, well, what about the ones who go missing because they want to go off the grid? They want to just reset. They want to escape from something that is harmful and dangerous. I say, then, that's what they did. And good for them. This is about not finding someone who has escaped harm. You know, if they had to go underground because they were in a toxic situation, then we need to pray that they remain safe. But we're talking about literally being kidnapped. Okay? Here we go.
I was 10 years old when my mother went missing. She's been missing for 22 years.
My sister Pam has been missing now for 5 years.
Our son, Larry Jr., he's been missing for 8.5 years. This is like a nightmare.
My daughter was 4 years old when she was abducted. All her toys are still in her room. I miss my child. I miss my baby.
Black and Missing Foundation is a nonprofit organization to bring awareness to missing persons of color.
What I saw in the media was a disparity in the coverage of missing people of color.
We're not trying to dishonor any community. We're just trying to even a playing field.
Since our inception in 2008, there have been 1.2 million people of color reported missing. The Black and Missing Foundation assists families in a number of ways. We assist them in working with law enforcement.
The Black and Missing Foundation is very important because of Ms. Wilson's law enforcement background. They bridge that gap with law enforcement and the victim's family.
We assist them in getting media coverage.
Regardless of where you come from, as far as your neighborhood, your socioeconomic standing, the complexion of your skin, each life has value. This organization works tirelessly to keep that message in front of society.
We created a website so anyone around the country can see the thousands of missing people of color, and they can help bring that individual home. I'm in media relations. Derica is a veteran law enforcement official, and those are the two critical components needed in finding our missing. So if someone has any information, please report it anonymously to bamfi.org. It could be your family, and you would want someone to report it.
Our 5K is a great way to raise awareness to missing persons all throughout the United States.
Here we go. On your mark. Get that.
But most importantly, we educate and empower our community to take action in finding our missing or providing closure for families.
And these families need our help.
The day that Michelle Nicole went missing was a normal day. She was on her way to her after-school program.
She left, kissed me goodbye, said I love you, and said I love you back, be safe, and everything, and she took off, and that was the last time I seen her.
It's not easy to get exposure for a missing child of color. I know this firsthand. I personally reached out to every media outlet you can possibly imagine and was brushed off like a fly on the shoulder. My sister in Georgia told me about an organization called Black and Missing. From the minute we contacted Black and Missing, the exposure began. All over the country. Somewhere around month 3 or 4, I gave up hope of finding her alive. And while in bed, a wreck, the phone rang, and it was Derica.
And I told her that we were going to find her daughter.
She said, "Hey, Janelle, do you want to go on The View?" And I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. And Natalie kind of shook me a little bit and said, "Janelle, you can do this. And you will do this."
So, hello and welcome to The View.
Whoopi Goldberg heard about the Black and Missing Foundation, and she wanted to use their platform to help bring awareness to missing people of color because she understands that there's a disparity.
See this girl? Her name is Michelle Diamante Green. If you have any information, maybe you saw somebody with her, take a good look. Go into your memory. If you find that you have just the least bit of information, please contact the authorities. It will really be a wonderful thing to reunite this family. Thank you, Janelle and Derica Wilson. We will be right back.
About 15 minutes after the segment aired, my phone rang.
I received a tip from a caller that advised that they knew the whereabouts of Michelle Green. I, in turn, notified law enforcement to get units sent out there to that address.
They found my baby. I just hugged her. And I just reveled in that one moment that I was hugging my daughter again.
They were able to find this young lady that had been missing for 5.5 months.
I never thought that I would be on national television. Never. And I especially never thought we would be on national television and my daughter just be delivered back home to us right away.
Here he is when he was graduating from his side. I had gotten custody of Deshaun when he was 3 years old. He was a fat little baby back then. Deshaun is my oldest grandchild. Deshaun is my heart. He would dress as a female. Majority of the time he would put on dresses and skirts, and he kept his hair done all the time. But I didn't care how he dressed because I was going to love him anyway. He was my world. I loved him. I didn't care that he was gay. But it set him up as to be a target. He was picked on and people were fighting, you know. He went to meet a friend and he disappeared without a trace.
Nearly 30% of missing minority youth identify as gay.
There is an issue of missing gay youth in America, especially in the African American community. It's taboo to be gay. You know, and there's so many transgender teens who are missing. They're being lured into sex trafficking, and it's just heartbreaking. But it's time for our community to wake up because it's happening in our backyard.
The Black and Missing Foundation came into my life when I felt I had nobody. You know, nobody had my back.
We continue to help families who are still searching. We ask them to never give up hope. Since our inception, we have assisted many families in finding their missing loved one. Sadly, not all of them have been returned alive. However, they do have some sense of closure, finding or getting an answer, whether it's good or bad, as to what happened to their missing loved one.
I'm a family. If it take the last breath of my body, I'm finding out what happened to my grandchild. I miss my baby. He has to hurry up and come home.
I knew something was going wrong when I called my son's mom in the morning, and I went to her home that evening to retrieve the kids, and nobody was there. A neighbor informed me that they had moved, and at that point I knew they were gone. With parental abductions, you know who has your child, but you just can't put your hands on it. I worried about their health because I had checked the school systems and everything, and they weren't in school or anything. When I would go to the police department, they would tell me it's a civil matter. I have to go to the judge and get a contempt order. I went to the judge, I had a contempt order. It was just a nightmare because I was back and forth every day, and that's what I went through for almost 2 years.
We know there's a sense of distrust with the minority community and law enforcement, so we coach them through that process.
When I spoke with John about his case, I said, you must choose your words carefully. Your children's mother abducted them. It's a parental abduction, and that's how it needs to be filed with law enforcement. I actually reached out to law enforcement directly. I went to the chief of police. Once you actually label or classify the case appropriately, it sends a sense of urgency to law enforcement.
Once Derek and the Black and Missing Foundation got involved, I finally got the help that I needed to get a detective assigned to my case. Ultimately, the vehicle that my boys had been abducted in was spotted about 30 minutes away. At that point, someone called Derek on the tip line. Derek then called the police department, and they acted on it. My boys were found.
The reason we started the foundation is because this can happen to any one of us, and we possess the resources to help find and bring these missing individuals home.
I'm proud to announce that our boys are home. And I know that none of this would have been possible. Erica and Natalie, please.
It was a great feeling to see these families that reunite with their loved ones, but then we have hundreds and thousands of families that are still searching.
I just want to say, never give up. Never give up.
Since our inception, many families have been reunited with their missing loved ones.
Unfortunately, there's so many cases out there that are still unsolved.
These are mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, grandparents, kids that are missing, and we all should feel connected because it can happen to you, it can happen to me.
We need the Black and Missing Foundation because without them, we wouldn't have anybody.
When we had no other options, Black and Missing said, there are more options, just hold on, we're going to find them. And they did.
The Black and Missing Foundation is a voice for us. And without that voice, we'll be forgotten.
Families with a missing loved one cling to hope. The Black and Missing Foundation provides that hope and help for the overwhelming number of missing people of color. They are those voices for the missing. As a small all-volunteer group, the Black and Missing Foundation has already made a huge impact, but with your generous donation, imagine how many more children and adults can be brought home and reunited with their loved ones. More than 200,000 people of color go missing each year, and finding them, sadly, is very expensive work. So please visit the Black and Missing Foundation website at bamfi.org and make a tax-deductible donation today. My name's Whoopi, and I just want to personally thank you for helping Derica and Natalie in their life-saving work.
Let's give a round of applause to the Black and Missing Foundation. Okay, brothers and sisters, I thank you for listening to the search effort this evening. So far, we are live. Just in case you were just now tuning in, I am the host of the Sister Speak Show, the host of the search effort, Ayanna. And we just got through listening to about a 12-minute clip that basically, really just says it all in one big ball of cotton candy. I mean, and it's very, it is very courageous of someone to say, you know what? No, I need to find my baby. I need to find my loved one. And I'm so grateful for this foundation because this foundation is reuniting families and is doing such a great job. This is where your money goes to. If you're going to spend money, if you're going to give money away, give it away towards something that is actually doing something to build and impact the community. They are impacting the communities. So this is the challenge for you this evening, my brothers and sisters, is that you have to participate vigilantly in helping to bring our loved ones home, to helping solve cold cases, okay, to helping loved ones be comforted, to helping, there are so many ways that you can support this effort. If you're in a community and someone goes missing, be a part of the search party. Just don't stand on the sidelines with your phone, soaking it in, talking about we're live, really get in the trenches and look. Have you ever lost your keys? I have lost my keys several times. The look on my face when I lose my keys and the look on my face when, I don't know where they are. I'm touching myself as far as, patting myself down. I'm looking under things. I'm looking in places where I know it couldn't be, but they're lost and I need to find them. And why? Because I cannot go anywhere without them. Gotta have my keys, right? So can you imagine just taking that same brain cell that is so serious about finding your keys? And, they have Tile out now where you can actually, program your It's Bluetooth capable, actually, and where you can find your keys or find whatever if they go missing. You just attach it to your keys, and then you have an app on your phone, and there it is. Boom. Okay? So the effort that you put into looking for that, or the effort that you put into looking for something to wear, effort into finding something that you need. Well, you have to now participate in the village. I'm holding everybody accountable in 2018. We've got to restructure the village. We've got to understand that we make up the village, and we cannot be the idiots in the village. We have to be vigilant, and we have to be willing to get out of this complacency and this zombie-like attitudes and say, look, we've got to patch up the community. We're under several curses, brothers and sisters. We really are. And so we really need to really be trying to get it together. We really do. So listen, here is the homework assignment. What you need to do is go to blackandmissing.org. You can punch it in through Google, Bing, Yahoo. It doesn't matter. Safari. It doesn't matter. You go and you type in blackandmissing.org. It's going to bring you to the home page. Okay. So I'm on the home page right now. It says Black and Missing, but not forgotten. And so they have the home page, blog, case directory, what to do if someone's gone missing, donations, volunteer, contact us. And so they have also a photo gallery that's going across the home page that just shows who has gone missing. And so I'm going to read a few this evening, but your charge, your duty, your assignment is to go to this. Not for, ooh, girl, let me see who's on here. Or, let me check out, let me see what's on here. No, like, you have to really be serious about this. And go on here and look, you just never, ever know. Okay? And oh my gosh, this really pulls on your heart. So I am going on what's called the case directory. And the case directory has what's called the hot cases. Okay, wait a minute. Hot cases, can you identify me and find our missing episodes? Okay. So right off the bat, it says the last name, the age when missing, the city, and the state. Okay? Period. Name, location, description, case type. First one, Kelly Allen. So what you do is you click on her picture, touch the picture, depending on what you're, looking on. And it'll show this beautiful sister's face. And then it says Kelly Allen, age 25, case type, missing from Berkeley, Missouri. Now it says description, 5 feet, weight 165, eye color, hazel, hair color, brown, sex, female. Notes, and then it gives a description. Kelly was last seen leaving a friend's home in Berkeley, Missouri on March 13th, 2007. But she resides in St. Louis, Missouri. Kelly has a tattoo of brown eyes and a flower on her left shoulder and a tattoo of a half moon behind her right ear. Anyone having any information should contact National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, 1-800-843-5678. So if you, my brothers and sisters, have anyone who is in Missouri, roundabout Berkeley area, ask them to go to this website and go to the case directory and look at this sister's picture and see if they have seen her. That's how we're going to do it. You're going to hear the names. And not only that, you'll be able to go and look yourself, contact your people who live in that area, put them on the case now, and have them look at the picture. We can really bring someone home. And the goal is to bring several home. So they look at the picture, and if they've seen Kelly Allen, well, then guess what? We found her, and we can reunite her. Okay? So remember, the number is 1-800-843-5678. Okay? So I back out of that. We've clicked on that, and then I go to the next one. The next one is Marty Lee Bell. Case type, missing. Age now, 18. Missing from Cincinnati, Ohio. Description, 2 feet, weight, 25 pounds. This is a baby, you all. Eye color, brown. Hair color, black. Sex, female. Marty may be in the company of her mother in Ohio or Maryland. Marty has a birthmark on her left ankle. Anyone who has any information should contact the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children, 1-800-843-5678. Okay? So if you live in Ohio or in the Maryland area, please be on the lookout for, oh, wow, Marty Lee Bell. But guess what? Marty Lee Bell was a baby when she was kidnapped. She's now 18. Oh. And so what you have to do is that you have to hope and pray that the loved ones of the one who has gone missing has a generated photo of what they may look like now. Right? Oh my gosh, brothers and sisters, you know, this is so heartbreaking. Not heartbreaking. I don't want to say heartbreaking, but this really, really pulls on you. Okay, so we have another sister. This is another missing case. Hattie Burton, age now 43. She's missing from Boynton, Florida. 5 feet, 165. Eye color, brown. Hair color, black. Sex, female. Hattie was last seen on February 9th, 1988. She may be in need of medical attention. Anyone having any information should contact the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children, 1-800-843-5678. So that's just 3. I am not going to read any more this evening, but I will be reading every single one. Why? Because this is an international podcast. Because you never know who's listening. And this is just to get your curiosity and the spirit of obligation, you know, on fire. So you honestly can go to Black and Missing, but not forgotten, you know, blackandmissing.org and look. Okay? This organization is here for our people. Shout out to Whoopi Goldberg for bringing attention to this particular organization on such a national level. Shout out to you, my sister, for the love that you're showing the communities. It is so much appreciated. So listen, you're going to go to the website. You're going to check it out and just do your homework and get very familiar with the website. Now it says what to do if someone goes missing. For missing children, listen what it says. It says act immediately, okay? If you believe that your child is missing, what to do? Number 1, if your child is missing, search the house, checking closets, piles of laundry, in and under beds, inside large appliances, and inside of vehicles, including trunks, wherever a child may crawl or hide. Okay? Number 2, if you cannot find your child immediately, call the local law enforcement agency. Okay? Immediately. Number 3, if your child disappears in a store, notify the store manager or security office. Then immediately Call your local law enforcement agency. Many stores have a Code Adam plan of action. If a child is missing in the store, employees immediately mobilize to look for the missing child. Now see, Code Adam. Okay? A lot of people want to know, well, what is Code Adam? Now, I know what Code Adam is because when I was younger, I remember Adam Walsh went missing. And I believe he was at a store. He went missing and he was later found decapitated, 7 years old. And his father, you all probably recognize him on America's Most Wanted. I think his name is John Walsh. So ever since then, he has been dedicated towards almost like a vigilante, when it comes to these type of situations. So anyway, it says, number 4, when you call law enforcement, provide your child's name, date of birth, height, weight, and any other unique identifiers such as eyeglasses and braces. Tell them when you notice that your child was missing and what clothing he or she was wearing. Number 5, request that your child's name and identifying information be immediately entered into the National Crime Information Center, NCIC, missing person file. Okay, number 6, after you have reported your child missing to law enforcement, call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, NCMEC, on our toll-free number, 1-800-THE-LOST, 1-800-843-5678. Or you can use our live hotline to talk to the NCMEC through our website. Okay? Now, when it comes to missing adults, brothers and sisters, it says to contact local law enforcement. Some law enforcement agencies are reluctant to take a report of a missing adult. Stress that you are not trying to control your child's life, but you are truly concerned for his or her safety. Number 1, write down the name of the officer who takes the report as well as the badge number, telephone number, and the police report number. Number 2, find out from the officer who will follow up on the initial investigation. Number 3, keep a notebook and record all information on the investigation. Number 4, be sure to ask if your child is entered into the NCIC, National Crime Information Computer. Okay? Your child must be entered here, or other law enforcement agencies won't know that your child has been reported as missing if the child is picked up or if a check has been run on them for something else. So, the next one, make fingerprint and dental records available to police. If there are medical records or emotional concerns, make sure they are clearly stated when filing the report. If a vehicle is involved, make sure the license is also entered into the NCIC. Most often with adult missing, the families do a majority of the searching. Sometimes there is a desire to cancel a bank card or credit card. It might be smarter to have law enforcement flag these cards so that if it's used, they will be able to be notified and might lead you to a paper trail of your loved one or someone who knows where your loved one is. Get help from family and friends. People want to help, but they often don't know what to do. Give them tasks. Don't wait for them to ask. They can help with phone calls, completing forms, mailing flyers, reaching out to the media, making certain that you take care of yourself. Contact Team Hope for emotional support, empowerment, resources, and assistance. Get friends and relatives to help with your other children during this crisis. Your other children might be in their teens and they are experiencing the same traumatic event that you are. They may feel powerless to do anything constructive. Friends and relatives may be better able to assign them tasks so that they feel useful and helpful during the search. Watch them carefully for signs of trouble, as teens have a greater tendency to internalize their feelings. Crime Victim Services. So now they have what's called the Crime Victim Services, both national and state. Now, I'm not going to read all of this because the page goes down to Timbuktu. And no shade. But there's only so much juice that you can have in your mouth before you run out of juice. And as I'm not making light but I'm just showing you how important this is. I want you to read it. I want you to get familiar with it. I want you to look at these brothers and sisters who have gone missing, whether it's a hot case or a cold case. Okay. They have something on here called Can You Identify Me? You can also donate and you can contact them. So don't forget, that's blackandmissing.org. Your homework is to go look and see whom you might be able to help find. And you can also notify your family and friends who are in the area that the missing was last seen in, and hopefully be able to reunite them with their loved ones. We can do this, brothers and sisters. This is the search effort, and the search effort is dedicated to a local, national, and international level of awareness of bringing our missing loved ones home. Also, we're going to focus on cold cases. We want to be able to help solve crimes. Now, some people may say, well, isn't that snitching? Look, that's what you think. You have to be bold. Okay? You cannot let the devil and his imps keep you from telling it like it is, from being honest. See, that whole snitching mentality is why a lot of our brothers and our sisters, and I'm talking about our babies and stuff, are keeping things and our babies and the like are keeping so many things inside because of these stupid rules, because of these stupid thoughts, these codes that have no entry, okay? So look, if you've seen something, say something, okay? That's just what it is. Run and tell that. You can't hold it in. If you know something, anonymously say something. There are several ways you can drop a tip without feeling like you're going to lose your G-ness or your street cred, okay? I'm serious about this, Now, the reason why some of you may not want to say something is, hey, some of you might have somebody that you're holding captive right now. Okay, we're going to move forward with that one. Brothers and sisters, now listen, you've been listening live to the search effort, the premiere of the search effort. So what we're going to do is get ready to close this show out. But before we close this show out, I want to encourage you, because I understand that tonight was heavy. Have you looking over your shoulder, right? Look, if you are a female, and I'm just going to speak to the females at this second. If you are a sister and you choose to gallivant, go out, whether it is in-state or overseas, it is crucial, my sister, that you have your own back. What do I mean? You can't be trying to party like a rock star and end up in a situation where your loved ones have to come looking for you. It is happening all the time. Going on a vacation, going to go meet this person, going to go meet that person, meeting somebody online, meeting somebody offline, and they're not who they said they were. And a lot of people drink alcohol, and that's how a lot of brothers and sisters end up coming up missing. That alcohol, because they end up slipping a pill in the, some powder substance, a pill in the alcohol, and next thing you know, it is serious. So next time you going out, my sister, I want you to pay attention to the way you're dressing. I want you to pay attention to your surroundings. I want you to see who's staring at you in a disturbing manner. Pay attention to cars. Pay attention to everything. One thing about me, I have surveillance eyes. I'm talking about good eyes. Really good eyes, okay? True story. True story. This is a true story I'm about to tell you today. When I was living in the Bay Area, California, in my condo, I lived in a gated community, and let me not say gated like, like that. It's just it had an electric gate. That's it. Anyway, I was coming home. It was the summertime. I had been substitute teaching for the summer. And I came home, long day. And I always pay attention to my surroundings because I was living by myself at that time. And, I pull in and I look across the street. And I see a Ford with its windows down, Taurus, tan color, champagne, pecan frost, if you will. And the windows were down, and this white guy, in quotations, was looking at me through binoculars. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Okay? There is a guy staring at me across the street. This isn't good. I didn't know if he was casing the joint, if he was trying to come for me, because I see you. You don't think I see you, but I see you. Why do I see you? Because I'm always on it. Okay? Aware. And I called the police. I did. Called the sheriff because I lived in an unincorporated area. I called the sheriff. I said, check this out. There's somebody staring at me with binoculars across the street. I think they're casing the joints, or they're trying to kidnap somebody, and I need you to come through. I'm sitting outside of my window, watching them watch the whole complex, and I see the sheriff pull up. I'm like, cool, great, arrest them, get them. There they are. It's them right there. I wasn't outside. This is all the things I was just saying from the window, watching. And I see her say something to them and speed off. I said, what type of Confederate privilege is this? That you get to stake out the joint and the sheriff comes up on you and you're still staking out the joint. So then 10 minutes later they leave. But wait a minute now. Rewind. I'm in the car. Oh my gosh. And I looked directly at him because if you have the binoculars on, you can magnify. And I looked directly at him and I said, what the are you looking at? And he put the binoculars down immediately. That's how I know you're looking, bruh. I know you're looking. I know you're watching. The streets is watching. And so, I'm watching you watching me. Anyway, so the next day, I get a knock on my door. I'm like, WTH is this? I go to the door, and it is 4 detectives and the SWAT team ATF. I'm like, what's up? They were like, do you know who lives in the apartment up there? I was like, He said, well, we're looking for such and such and such and such, and we have reason to believe that he's living up there. Is that the right apartment? Look, I don't know. I was like, wait a minute. He was like, yeah, you busted our sting operation yesterday. What? Good going, Ayanna. On it. Look, I'm looking all around to see what's up. Okay? And that's how sober and vigilant you need to be. You need to be able to know when there is a pervert loose in the Dollar Tree. You need to be able to know when there is a suspicious car perusing the neighborhoods around the schools. You need to be able to know if there's a suspicious guy at the bar who is forcing you to accept the drinks that he wants to buy. Look, every guy that tries to holler at you or every sis that tries to holler at you online is dangerous. just being honest with you, brothers and sisters, they really are. Oh, my heart. I'm just looking at all these pictures, brothers and sisters, of all these brothers and sisters who have gone missing. Okay? Old photos, recent photos. And I don't know what it was like at that minute when everything that was became different. The panic, the fright, not wanting to be killed, begging their attackers to have mercy. You know, it's hard. It's hard to think about. And I don't want that to happen to you. I don't want that to happen to me. But look, we have to be accountable for each other if it does happen. You know? So with the search effort this evening, I thank you for listening to the live, premiere. It has been wonderful being able to converse with you this evening. I want my brothers and sisters to come home. I want them to be found. I want them to be reunited with their loved ones, to comfort to be brought to their families. So next time you're out, pay attention. Remember, do your homework. If you say you care, if you say you are down for the communities, if you say you are for upliftment, encouragement, and you are about impacting the communities, if you understand that this is a platform that can also, in conjunction with other platforms, that is dedicated towards bringing home our missing loved ones, solving cold cases, interviewing special guests, and having survivors come on and literally, share their stories, then I want you to participate in bringing our brothers and sisters back home. Period. Point blank. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Next on the Sister Speak Show, Tuesday, January 2nd, coming to the stage. Wednesday, January 3rd, the premiere of the search effort. Thursday, January 4th, the culture climate. Friday, January 5th, the laugh line. Saturday, January 6th, the tour with Ms. Stiletto. And Sunday, January 7th, the platform with Danielle Lee. The Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve.
Brothers and sisters, I'm telling you, we are live and the Sister Speak Show is really on the go. There's no way that you can't listen to this show. It is just, it's getting better and better. I'm really, really excited about all of what's going on. And we have to have a moment of reflection. Okay? But for those of you who don't know, let me share this with you.
We want you to listen live and on demand to the Sister Speak Show. There are 6 segments dedicated to serving you, my brothers and sisters. We have the platform, coming to the stage, the culture climate, the laugh line, the tour, and the search effort. Oh, the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve.
So, brothers and sisters, see, what I'm trying to tell you is this, that you will be listening live tomorrow, Thursday, to the culture climate. And then Friday, oh, I'm so excited. The laugh line, that's where I'm going to really cut loose. I had to be very reserved this evening because this is a very sensitive subject. I'm going to cut loose on Friday, though. If you're ready to laugh, if you are ready to have a wonderful time, I suggest you get your listening tickets now because I will be live. The show will be live. The jokes will be live. I'm funny. Period. And I want you to laugh. It's good for the soul. So not only do I want you to search, I want you to laugh. And I want you to listen to the culture climate. Now, let me explain something just a little about the culture climate. It's raw. Very raw. What do you mean raw? Explicit, loop, raw? No. It is raw. Tell it like it is raw. We don't hold back on the culture climate. We speak about subject matters that are real. And I don't hold back. I keep it 100. Very blunt, very honest. Very honest. I am for our brothers and sisters doing better. And I highlight topics that will have you saying, okay, wow, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, I know, but hey, fasten your seatbelt. This is real. So I want you to be able to tune into all of the 6 podcasts. This is your listening pleasure. Some of you, have decided to pull away from the TV in 2018. Well, honey, look, come on down and listen to the Sister Speak show. We've got you covered. Okay? So, brothers and sisters, I that's all I have to say for you this evening. You've been listening to the premiere of the search effort. I want you to go to the website, and I want you to, participate in finding our brothers and sisters. And if you have a story that you want to share on the Sister Speak show, I want you to come on, okay? I want to hear all about it. The brothers and sisters want to hear all about it. And we just want to be able to be here for you. If you have a missing loved one and you want to bring attention to that on this podcast, yes, I'd love to have you come on the show so you can share every detail that you need to share, and so we can get it out there, my sister, out there, my brother, So thank you for listening to the Cultural Renaissance platform that influences a climate that is conducive to who you are and who you should be. No reckless entertainment, just responsible listening nourishment. We don't go dumb, we go wisdom. I am Ayanna, the host of the Sister Speak show. And until we speak next time, you have a wonderful evening. And I'll talk to you later.